Samuel asked Jesse, is there another son of yours?
Jesse
remembered David, who was at the field tending sheep. He also knew a shepherd boy could not become a king. These are very many reasons due to that, but one of them is being a shepherd then in Israel was the most peasant job in Israel. It was done by the least people in society, people that were considered not halves. The book of 2 Chronicles chapter 28. 1 Chronicles chapter 28 and verse 9. Let us read 1 Chronicles chapter 28 and verse 9. Please mark these scriptures. Do not leave them here. And when you go back home, meditate upon them. As for you, my son Solomon, know God of your father and serve him with a loyal heart and with a willing mind. For the Lord searches all hearts and understands all the intent of the thoughts.
Manya mwana wange Samweli Katonda wa Isirayiri.
Know, my son, the God of Israel.
Manya Katonda wa Isirayiri.
Know, my son Solomon, the God of Israel.
Mwamanya byonna ebiri mu mutima.
That he knows everything that is in the heart.
Era akora search byonna ebirowoozo ebiri mu mitima gy'abaana b'abantu.
And he searches the entire thoughts in the hearts of mankind.
Amukubiriza n'amugamba nti Katonda ono wa Isirayiri.
He's urging him that this God of Israel,
okisooka olina okumumanya.
First you must know him.
Nti anoonyeza ddala emitima.
That he searches the hearts.
Era atunuulira emitima.
He looks at what's in the heart.
Katonda yekka yalina amaanyi agasobola.
God alone has the potential to
okukyusa emitima gy'abakabaka.
Change the hearts of kings.
Kubanga batugambye nti omutima gwa kabaka guli waggulu ennyo okusinga waggulu.
Because we've been told that the thoughts in the king's heart are higher than the heavens.
Mbwe era n'omutima gwa kabaka guli wansi nnyo okugenda wansi.
And the thoughts in the king's heart are deeper the earth core.
Gujjudde ebirowoozo eby'amaanyi.
That it's filled with great thoughts.
Omuntu yenna batasobola kumanya newankubadde okutegeera.
That any fellow mankind cannot tell.
Era mwe muvudde. And
out of those thoughts there are great finishings. That is why a king's word has become a decree. Every word the king says has become a command, a law. And every word you also speak on earth, you've already established it in heaven. It is irreversible. Let us go to the introduction. The greatest destinies do not start because of the words people have spoken about you or because of the words you have spoken. But the greatest destinies start in the mind, in your heart. In your heart, destinies are born. When the enemy is to attack destinies of each one of us, he doesn't attack the words spoken by us. He attacks what your heart thinks. This gives us the strength not to spend time crying like everyone else, and to always say that people are bad-mouthing me. What destroys people's progress in line with their calling by God is because they delve more on what people are saying. Some people change churches, they change their places of residence because of naysayers. We have realized that God does not regard what men speak by their mouths. What touches God is not the speech of man, but the intents of the heart. You do not know, you can't tell what a person thinks. Just like I'm standing here
buli
before
omu
you.
ayinza okuba alina kyandowoozaako
Everyone might be thinking something about me.
era naawe mulirwanaawo olina ky'omulowoozaako
You're also thinking something about your neighbor right now.
era tuli wano oyinza okuba kaakati enkuba etandise okutonnya
And as we are here, you see it's raining.
nga waddusa dda watuuse ddeeka n'oga nti katonda wa Isirayiri
Your heart is already at home saying, Jesus of Israel.
ebikunta byange mbirese bweru
My beddings were hanged outside.
omuntu anaasula ludda w'enkuba etonnya
Am I in a wet bed tonight?
naye ng'onyeenya bw'oti omutwe nga ndowooza nti oli ku nze
But you're shaking your head in acknowledgement. I'm thinking that someone is entering you.
naye nga tondiiko
Yet you're far away from me.
oyinza okuba ng'otudde wano ng'okuba engalo ez'amaanyi ng'oyimba
You might be seated here clapping thunderously and
era nga
singing.
n'amazina ag'ekirokolo gazina
You can even dance decently to
naye
the Lord.
ng'omutima gwo teguliiwo
Yet your heart is absent.
olowooza olunaku olw'enkya landlord yakugambye
You're thinking about the deadline of tomorrow that the landlord gave you,
ennyumba yange gifulume
of your eviction from his
naye
house.
nga tegw'osinza okuyisaamu eddoboozi mu kusaba
Yet you gave the mightiest shout in prayer.
fe abaana b'abantu wuliriza eddoboozi ng'osaba
Fellow human beings, listen to your voice as you pray,
naye katonda awuliriza mutima
but the Lord listens to your heart.
kubanga omutima gwogera kirala
Because the heart speaks the opposite,
n'eddoboozi lyogera kirala
and your voice speaks the opposite.
kama yeebazibwe
Praise be to God.
tugenze mu kuva sula 14 olunyolo okusatu
Let us read Exodus chapter 14 and verse 3.
kuva 14:3
Exodus chapter 14 and verse 3.
we twagala okwetoololeza
It is where we want to be revolving
essomo lino
this,
ery'okulowooza
this message of mind and thoughts.
14:3
Exodus chapter 14 and verse 3.
katusome fembi
Let us read together.
falaawo alibagolokerako abaana ba Isirayiri
For Pharaoh will say to the children of Israel,
falaawo aliboogerako abaana ba Isirayiri
for Pharaoh will say of the children of Israel,
nti bazingiziddwa mu nsi ey'omu ddungu
they are bewildered by the land in the wilderness.
era eddungu libazingiza
The wilderness has closed them in.
falaawo
Pharaoh,
olwokuna nange falaawo ndimukakanyaza omutima
verse 4, then I will harden Pharaoh's heart,
alibagoberera ennyuma waabwe
so he will pursue them,
nange ndyefunira ekitiibwa ku falaawo
and I will gain honor over Pharaoh
ne ku gye lyonna
and over all his army,
abamisiri balimanya nga nze mukama
that the Egyptians may know that I am the Lord.
bwe ndikola bwe ntyo
And they did so.
katonda yamanya ebirowoozo bya falaawo nga tannaba na kwogera
The Lord knew Pharaoh's thoughts before he even spoke.
n'agamba musa
And then he says to Moses
nti ekkubo lye mukutte
that the path you're taking
lya ddungu
is one of the wilderness,
n'ekkubo lye mwolekedde
and the one you're heading for
maaso eriyo ennyanja
has a sea ahead,
oluvannyuma gye baafuula ennyanja ey'omusaayi
the one that was made the Red Sea present day.
ekyagifuula ennyanja ey'omusaayi
The reason it was named the Red Sea
ku lwa falaawo n'amagaali g'abaasaanawo
was for the event of Pharaoh and his chariots that were destroyed in it.
katonda yamanya omutima gwa falaawo nga tannaba kwogera kintu kyonna
The Lord knew Pharaoh's heart before he mentioned anything.
nga tannayita magye ge n'ab'embagala embalaasi n'amagaali ge
Before he called his army to stand in an array and all his horses and horse riders.
era nga tannayita kakiiko akakulira eby'ekijasi
And before he called his committee in charge of warfare.
nga tannayogera kintu kyonna nti goberera abamisiri
Before he even passed a decree that let's pursue the Israelites.
era nga tannayogera kigambo kyonna nti abo bajja kudda
Before he even said that let us call them back.
yakisooka mu mutima gwe
It was first in his heart.
era yali akimanyi mu mutima gwa falaawo kyagenda okwogera
The Lord knew what Pharaoh would say in his heart.
bwe yayimirira bw'ati n'atunula
That he stood and beheld,
n'alaba obuyifu obusiriivu bw'abantu nga tebayise mu kkubo
and he saw the trillions of people that hadn't made it through the wilderness.
mwe balina okuyita
Yet that's the path they had to take.
n'amanya nti bakigudde
And then he knew they would be bewildered.
nababuulira
I told you once
katonda nga tolosa abaana ba Isirayiri nga bajja mu busibe
that when the Lord was helping the Israelites break out of bondage,
teyabayisa mu kkubo
He never took them through a path
buli muntu mwe yali ayita.
that was obvious to every man.
Yabalalambaza nga abayisa mu kkubo.
He took them to a direction
Omuntu yenna
that any man
lyataayitangamu.
would obviously not pass through.
Ntandise okubuulira.
I've started preaching now.
Katonda tagenda kukuyisa mu kkubo.
The Lord won't take you through the path
Abaana b'abantu bonna mwe bayita.
that all sons of men can take.
Era tagenda kukola nga bw'olowooza nawe bw'oyagala.
He won't do things according to your will and thought.
Kubanga ekizibu kyange n'ekikyo kigamba bwe kiti.
Yours and my problem is,
Katonda anaatandikira luddawo okusinziira ku mbeera gye ndimu.
where will the Lord start depending on the situation I'm in?
Okusinziira mu sizoni mwe tuli.
Basing on the season we are in.
Okusinziira ku myaka gye ndimu.
Basing on my age.
Okusinziira ku nsawo yange nga bw'etunula.
Basing on my pocket worth.
Okusinziira ku bantu be mmanyi.
Basing on my connections.
Katonda yamanya omutima n'ebirowoozo bya Falaawo
The
nga
Lord
tannayogera kintu kyonna.
Knew the heart and intents of Pharaoh before Pharaoh mentioned anything.
Kama yeebazibwe.
Blessed be the Lord.
Kannyongera okukigonzaamu.
Let me simplify this.
Singa wabaawo ekizimbe kyonna kye batunda.
If there is a building on sale,
Era Katonda ng'amanyi nti ekizimbe kye bagenda kitunda.
and the Lord knows before it's even put on sale,
Naye ng'agenda kutuma omusajja oba omukyala oba bulooka oba omuntu yenna.
yet he's going to send a broker or any man or woman
Akugamba nti ekizimbe ekyo bakitunda.
to inform you that that building is on sale.
Katonda amanyi kye ngenda okuddamu.
The Lord knows what I will answer
Nga sinnaba nakuddamu oyo agambye nti bakitunda.
before I even respond to the broker that has told me it's on sale.
Era Katonda akimanyi nti mugwanya kyagenda okuddamu.
And the Lord knows what Pastor Mugwanya will answer.
Nti ekyo bakiseera nnyo baseerera ddala.
He will answer that, wow, that is so expensive.
N'ekyokubiri,
And secondly,
sirina ssente.
I don't have the money.
Kitegeerekeka.
Is that clear to us?
Ekizimbe ekyo bakitunda.
The building is on sale.
Ettaka eryo balitunda.
The land is on sale.
Emmotoka eyo bagitunda.
That car is for sale.
Naye nga Katonda,
However, the Lord,
essaala ze wasaba zaali zaddwamu dda.
the prayers you had prayed to him had been answered long before.
Era kubadde okusaba kwo n'okuyaayaana kwo eri Katonda.
And it has been your prayer and yearning to the Lord,
Ng'osaba Katonda akugulira ekizimbe bakuwa ettaka.
praying that he may buy you a finished building or get you land.
Naye akubiriza emmeeme y'omusajja oba omukyala atunda ekizimbe ekyo.
Now he has compelled the heart of the owner of the property,
Era alina amugoba n'ekimugoba.
and because they now have an emergency,
Oweereddwa omukisa kubanga essaala zo zibaddewo.
you are fortunate. That's your answer, your prayer
Kubanga
answered.
gw'obadde ensonga lwaki ettaka eryo balitunze.
You are the reason why that land is on sale now.
Kati w'ogenda okumisingira ekyamagero kyo.
Now where you're going to miss the link between you and your miracle,
Omutima gwo kye gulowooza okusooka.
what your heart thinks at first sight,
Ne Katonda akimanyi ky'ogenda okuddamu.
the Lord knows your first response.
Nti ekyo si kyange kubanga sirina mpapula zifaanana bwe
You
ziti.
will say that doesn't belong to me because I'm not qualified to that level.
Ogwo mulimu si gwange kubanga sirina bukugu bufaana bwe buti.
That job is not mine because I don't have that experience.
Ekyo si kyange kubanga teri ammanyi.
That is not mine because no one knows me in that office.
Ekyo si kisobola kubanga emirundi mingi nze nga bangoba.
How can I finish that yet have failed always?
Nkimanyi n'ekyo sijja kusobola kifuna.
I know, I'm sure this I won't hold.
Katonda
God
agamba Musa
is telling Moses
nti mmanyi Falaawo kyagenda okubagamba.
that I know what Pharaoh will say to you.
Nti eddungu
He will think in his heart the wilderness
libasibye.
has bewildered them.
Ekitegeeza
That means
temulinaawo kkubo.
you have no way through.
Ekyo
That
Falaawo kyagenda okubagamba.
is what Pharaoh will tell you.
Kateyongereyo.
Let us go forward.
Mulowooza lwaki Falaawo kyamuwa amaanyi okugolokoka?
Why do you think Pharaoh was motivated to rise and pursue
N'amagaali ge n'embalaasi ze.
with his chariots and horses?
Mulowooza lwaki Falaawo oluvannyuma ayogera?
Why do you think that later on he says to himself
Tubagoberere tunaabatuukako ng'eddungu libazingizza.
that let us pursue them because they are bewildered by the wilderness?
abasajja tunaabatta n'obwogi bw'ekitala,
We shall slay their men with the edge of the sword,
abaana baabwe ne bakyala baabwe
their children and daughters,
tunaabakumyawo ne babeera abaddu baffe ennaku
and
zonna.
wives shall be abducted as slaves forever.
Mulowooza lwaki Falaawo yafuna obuvumu n'amaanyi agogera bwe gatyo?
Why do you think Pharaoh got the motivation and zeal to speak that way?
Twagambye nti omutima gwa kabaka guli waggulu nnyo,
We said that the thoughts in a king's heart are very high.
alowooza nnyo kusinga ggwe bw'olowooza,
He thinks higher than what you are thinking.
alaba ggwe bye tonnaba kulaba nga yabirabye dda,
He sees things before you see them.
aba yatunudde mayiro bufukunya gwe tonnaba kutuuka.
He has seen trillion miles before you even see a centimeter.
Kabaka tamala googera, buli kyayogera kiba kifuusa
A
etteeka.
king doesn't speak to whom it may concern. His word is a decree.
Kankuyambe,
Let me support this.
ekiwa kabaka amaanyi n'obuvumu n'abantu bano bonna,
What gave the king the motivation?
yamanya
He knew
nti gye bagenda mu maaso
that where they are heading,
teriiyo kkubo.
there is no way through.
Kiraba,
You see,
Katonda yakimanya
the Lord knew
ti ekyo Falaawo kyagenda okwogera.
that that is what Pharaoh will speak.
Mbwe era nnaayongera okkakanyaza omutima gwe.
The Lord says, I will harden his heart.
Owulira Katonda ng'ayogera wano wonna ayeetoolera ku mutima.
The Lord is revolving around the heart here.
Tiŋŋenda kwongera okkakanyaza omutima gwa
That
Falaawo.
I'm going to harden Pharaoh's heart.
Era alibagoberera,
He will pursue you,
Abamisiri balimanya
and the Egyptians will know
nti nze Mukama.
that I am the Lord.
Tuzzeeyo
Let us go back,
nga tunyweza
supporting
ekitabo eky'ebirowoozo,
the book of unspoken words or thoughts.
ebigambo bye twogera,
Words spoken
mitima gyaffe bye tuyita ebirowoozo.
in our hearts, those are the thoughts.
Kuba omutima gulina eddoboozi.
Because the heart has a voice.
Obudde siina nandyogedde ku maloboozi 7.
I am time bad. I would have mentioned the 7 voices in detail
Omutima
that the heart
gwe bukozesa.
uses.
Tweyongereyo.
Can we go forward?
Omulabe wa Isirayiri, Falaawo,
The enemy of Israel, that is Pharaoh,
yali amaze okukola judgment ng'egamba
he had made a judgment that said,
ti abo tebasobola kweyongerayo,
those ones cannot go ahead.
bawedde era bakoma.
They are finished. That's their end.
Naye kujjukiza
However, I want to remind you
nti Katonda
that God
amanyi ebirowoozo bya buli muntu,
knows every man's thoughts.
amanyi ne bakulowoozaako,
He even knows what people are thinking about you.
abimanyi.
He is aware.
Nga toliiyo
In your absentia,
ne bwe weebase,
even when you're asleep,
naye Katonda bulijjo akuuma bwe baayagala.
the Lord protects those he loves.
Era eggulu litandula okubalumba,
And the heavens
litandika okulwana nabo
starts to fight against them
ku stage esooka ey'ebirowoozo.
at the first stage of thoughts.
Katonda bw'aba alwana n'abalabe bo,
When the Lord is to fight your enemies,
abalumbira ku stage esooka ey'ebirowoozo.
he fights them at stage 1. That's the stage of thoughts.
Kubanga ebirowoozo bino
Because these thoughts,
bivaamu pulaani nteekateeka,
out of them come plans,
engeri gye banaakulumba,
battle plans, how they will attack you,
engeri gye banaakugoba,
how they will pursue you,
engeri gye banaakutiisatiisa.
how they will frighten you and scare you off.
N'oluvannyuma pulaani ng'ewedde,
And after the plan is done,
wajja kubaawo ekikolwa, action.
there will be an action.
N'oluvannyuma lw'ekikolwa,
And after the action,
wajja kubaawo ataaka.
there will be an attack.
Stage 3.
There are 3 stages.
Omulabe aba atulumba.
When the enemy is attacking us,
Kisooka kirowoozo,
the first is thoughts,
ne kifuuka pulaani,
it becomes a plan,
ne kifuuka ekikolwa,
and then an action,
oluvannyuma n'ateekateeka okulumba.
which is finally an attack.
bayibuli kyeva eyigiriza ng'egamba
That's why the Bible teaches and says,
nti omubbi tajja
a thief does not come
akozesa levo 3
but to do these 3 levels.
okubba
To steal
ye levo esooka
is the first level.
eyokubiri levo eyokusatu kutta
The second is to kill.
eyokusatu
And the third one
kwe kuzikiriza
is to destroy you.
bw'oba olw'omuwangula
If you're to overcome that enemy,
olina mukwatira mu stage esooka
you must address him at stage 1.
kuba ekisooka ajja kuwa ekirowoozo ekigamba
First of all, the enemy will give you a thought that says,
bw'oba towadde katonda tobaawo
won't you live if you don't offer to God?
bw'oba tomuwadde
If you don't offer to God,
luli bw'otaamuwa toliiwo
aren't you breathing? Last time you skipped your tithe.
toliiyo ku mulimu
Aren't you still at work?
tosuubula
Don't you still do
Totunda.
business? Aren't you selling and retailing?
tolabanga ofunye n'amagoba mangi okusinga nawe wali ng'owadde
Don't you notice that that money has helped you even get more profit?
kiba kirowoozo
That's a thought.
kasitala omu mukwatira ku levo eyo
Once you fail to arrest him at that level,
akola advance
he does an advancement,
n'adda ku levo ey'okubiri
advancing to level 2.
wuliriza lusifa ng'ayogera tayogera ku stage emu
Listen to Lucifer speaking. He doesn't speak about the one stage only.
bwe yali asula omuntu mu lusuku adeni yayogera bw'ati
When he was causing man to fall in the Garden of Eden, this is what he said.
poozi katonda yagamba atya
What did the Lord say?
stage 1
That is stage 1.
poozi katonda yagamba atya
Pardon me, Eve. What did the Lord say?
yamuwa kirowoozo
He gave Eve a thought
n'alyoka amuwa pulaani yonna
and then gave her the entire plan.
yagamba
He said
bwe tulikwata ku muti ogwo
that when we touch that tree
ne tugulyako
or eat of its fruit,
mbu
that
tugenda kufa
we shall die.
n'ayongera stage ey'okusisa
Now he advanced to the other stage.
namwe mugukwatako
He said, touching,
action
that is now action. He said, come on, Eve, come on.
gukwateko
Touch it.
obadde ki
Now what has happened to you?
sina kyembadde
Eve said, nothing has happened.
yategeera tule muligulyako
Of course he knew once you eat of it,
kati akola attack esembayo
now he's at the final stage of attack
amusuula amugobe mu lusuku
to drop man out of God's favor and be cast out of the
namuga
garden.
yamanya lwe muligulyako
He knew that when you eat of it,
mulifaanana nga ye
you'll be like him.
kitegeerekeka
Is this clear now?
katonda kye yakola falaawo
What the Lord did to Pharaoh,
yamulumba mangu nnyo
was that he attacked him early enough.
agamba nga gakirimaanyi galina ballistic missile
Those
intercept missile
superpower nations have what they call intercepting missiles.
ballistic bwe baziyita
Land to air intercepting missiles.
air to air
Air to air, land to air intercepting.
air to air land to air missile ezo ze bayita ezidduka emisinde omulimu gwazo
Now those very fast running missiles, their work is
okusooka kwe ku trackinga
to trace and track
ne kubo location
the exact location
kibazuka ekyo wekijja
where the missile from the enemy camp is coming from.
omulimu gwakyo kuwunyiriza
They will trace.
bwe zikuuma obwengula
They are there in the atmosphere guarding the airspace.
isirayiri olwaliro bweri kubanga yeetooloddwa abalabe
Today Israel is surrounded by enemies.
amanga gonna ag'abawarabu
All the Arab nations
gateesa okuzikiriza n'okusaanyawo eggwanga lino
are planning to destroy it and wipe it off the face of the map.
kati ensi yaabwe bagitaddemu emizinga egyo
Because of that, they have put those missiles in
omulimu
Israel.
gwazo
And their role to play
kwe kutabulatabula
is to confuse.
misairo zino ezibanga zizze.
is to distract the coordinates of the enemy missiles.
Ekyokubiri
Secondly,
kwe kubaka
is to arrest instantly
buli bazuka kye baweereza.
any missile that is sent into Israel airspace.
Ekyo baakijja ku Katonda.
They picked that from the Lord.
Kye yakola Falaawo.
That is what he did to Pharaoh.
Yayingira mu mutima gwe.
He entered Pharaoh's heart.
N'agutunuulira.
He searched it.
N'amanya ebirowoozo bye.
He knew his intents.
N'akola pulaani.
And then he made a plan,
Ng'amanyi w'agenda okumuzikiririza.
knowing where he will destroy Pharaoh from.
Singa Falaawo yagoberera Isirayiri.
If Pharaoh had pursued Israel,
Nga yayise mu kkubo.
when Israel had gone through a route
Abantu bonna be bayita.
that was obvious for any other person to take,
Abayisirayiri bandirwanye.
the Israelites would have fought
Okwerokola oba okwetaasa.
for their lives,
Ne Falaawo yandibasse n'abamalawo.
and Pharaoh would have killed them.
Lwaki Katonda
Why then does the Lord
abazizumbiza nga abayisa awatali kkubo mu ddungu?
divert them in the wilderness where there is no route?
Baba batambula.
As they are moving
Kubanga empagi y'ekire yabalinga waggulu.
in their marching order, there was a pillar of a cloud.
Jjukira waliwo malayika eyabakulemberanga.
Remember, there was an angel that went before these people.
Musa ng'alina kutunulira kire gye kigenda.
Moses had to look at that pillar of the cloud where it went.
Ng'omuntu yeekanga nnyo ekire.
But as a man, he was so shocked, a cloud.
Bwe kyaleka okkuba mwe baali balina okuyita.
When it didn't go in the direction where they would obviously pass,
Ne kibazizumbya nga kibatwala watali kkubo.
but it went in the direction of the wilderness.
Yesu gwe tuyimira maaso ge gwe tuweereza wangula okufuna amagombe.
The Jesus before whom we stand, the one we serve, and the one who overcame death,
Takolanga abantu bwe bakola.
doesn't do things according to what people do.
Dokitaali bw'akugambira nti gwe tosobola kuba mulamu.
When a doctor says that is incurable,
Kansa watuuse ku stage esembayo.
your cancer is at the last stage.
Tukuwadde ennaku bbiri okusobola okubeera omulamu.
You have 2 days of life.
Katonda
The Lord
aba yawulidde edda
has already heard
kiki ogenda okuddamu.
what you're going to respond to that report.
Nze mpedde era nfudde.
Will you respond saying, I'm doomed, I'm dead?
Kaakati
Now,
oluvannyuma ga nzikiriza Mukama mu Zabbuli egamba.
after saying that, you say, I believe Psalms.
Nsumba nga bw'ogambye era bw'osabidde bwe kijja kubeera bwe kityo.
Pastor, as you've said, so shall it be.
Katonda dokitaali agenda okugamba.
By the time the doctor gives you the report,
Aba amanyi omutima gwe kigenda okuddamu.
the Lord already knows what your heart is going to respond.
Kitwala akaseera n'obudde okutegeera Katonda wa Isirayiri.
It takes a time to understand this God of Israel
N'okutegeera ennono ze.
and to understand him deeper and his thoughts.
Ndi wano okugamba.
I'm here to tell you,
Wummula.
rest,
Beera steady.
be steady,
Towunjuka.
settle.
Omuntu yenna aleme kuwunjula.
Let no one make you diverted.
Omuntu yenna aleme okukutagaza.
Be steady, let no one make you diverted.
Omuntu yenna aleme okumalamu amaanyi.
Let no one divert you or make you lose courage.
Kuuma mutima gwo.
Guard your heart.
Beera ng'omukazi Mariyamu.
Be like the woman Mary.
Yeeka Katonda gwe yamanya.
Mary is the only lady that God knew.
Ku bawala abaaliwo mu nnaku ezo.
Of all the women that existed in those days,
Nti Katonda bw'ali muga nti ogenda kuzaala omwana.
that when the Lord tells her that you'll bear a son,
Ali agakibe ku nze nga bw'ogambye.
she won't doubt but instantly say, so be it
Kubanga
according
ne
to what you
Saara
say.
jjajjaffe yali aweza emyaka egiwerako.
Because even Sarah, our grandmother, had advanced in age.
Malayika bwe yamugamba.
By the time the angel told her,
Katonda yali yategedde dda Saara kyagenda
the
okuddamu.
Lord already knew what Sarah was going to respond.
Yaseka kubanga ekijjira omutima.
She laughed because what fills the heart,
Akamwa kye koogera.
so does the mouth speak.
Yagamba nti nze nga nkaddiye.
She said, look here, angel, I'm beyond productive age.
Ne mukama wange nga kaddiye.
Even my husband is past
Ndizaala
reproductive age.
omwana.
Shall we get a child?
Aleka namubuuza ki ekikusesezza.
The angel asked Sarah, why are you laughing?
Abuuza Ibrahim
asked
Sara
Abraham
kye kimusesezza.
that why did your wife Sarah laugh?
Sara n'agamba nze sindaba kusekako.
Sarah said, I have not laughed.
Ekitegeeza
This means
nti osobola okwegaana ekigambo kyonna ky'oyogedde.
you can deny a word you've spoken,
Tosobola kwegaana ekigambo kiri mu mutima gwo ky'olowooza.
but you can never deny the intents in your heart.
Kuba eggulu
Because the heavens
kiri ku likodi.
record those.
Basabi bannange,
Fellow prayer warriors,
beegayirizi bannange,
fellow intercessors,
tukuŋŋaana wano buli lunaku.
we convene here every day.
Ku buli Mande tuyimusa amaloboozi gaffe eri waggulu.
On Monday, we raise our voices on an altar to the heaven.
Buli Friday tuyimusa amaloboozi gaffe.
Every Friday, we raise our voices on an
Maama
altar.
Kizito Pastor Mayinja n'abasigadde batukulembera buli lwakusatu wano.
Mama Chizito, Pastor Charles, and the rest are leading us here on Wednesday.
Naye omutima gwo gusaba ki?
However, what's your heart praying?
Bwe tugaa tusabe,
When we say, let us pray,
omutima gwo gusaba ki?
what is your heart praying?
Sirina gwe nsalira musango,
I'm not condemning or judging anyone,
naye bwe ngatta essomo lino kindaga.
but when I make meaning out of this message, it shows me
Kyekireetera abantu nga bazze okusaba
that what causes people, when they come to pray,
ne basumagira,
to doze,
ne batuula ku katebe ne basalako,
to sit on a chair,
ne
cross-legged,
boogerayogera ebigambo
to just mimic prayer as if it's a chorus in a song,
matizibwa ng'omutima gwabwe
I'm convinced that in their hearts,
tebasaba.
they are not praying.
Omutima gwo bwe guba gusaba,
If your heart is actually praying,
akamwa kaba kasaba.
your mouth will surely pray.
Akamwa bwe kaba nga kasaba ng'omutima tegusaba,
But if your mouth is praying, uttering, but your heart is not,
ebirowoozo bijja kudduka.
your thoughts will run away.
Wali osomyeko ku mukazi ono gwe bayita Kaana muka Elukana?
Have you ever read about a woman called Kana, married to Elkanah,
Bwe yayingira mu nnyumba ya Katonda,
that she entered into the house of the Lord,
omutima gwe gwokka gwe gwasaba.
and it was only her heart that was praying?
Kubanga ne Eri
Because even Eli
talina kigambo kye yawulira ng'omukazi ono asaba.
didn't hear this woman mention any word in her prayer,
Bwe ne Saala ze n'obweyamo bwe bwali mu mutima,
that even her vow and prayer was in her heart.
yamulowooza nti mulalu,
So Eli thought Hannah was mad,
yamulowooza nti mutamiivu,
thought she was drunk,
yamulowooza nti bamulese mu yeekaalu nga omwenge gumukutte.
thought she was brought in the temple tipsy.
Agamba Eri n'amugamba nti omuddu wo
Now Hannah tells Eli that your maid servant,
mu bulumi obungi ne mu kunakuwala kwange,
out of my pain and agony,
fusse ebigambo ebiri mu mutima gwange.
I am pouring out the words in my heart.
Yiga omutima gwo okwogerera ne Katonda.
Learn to speak to the Lord with your heart.
Luusi mpuliriza
At times I listen
amakanisa gaffe ag'omwoyo,
to our spiritual or born again churches.
abantu bebasse.
People are asleep.
Oluusi ku ssaawa tukolerako meditation nga bateekako bihooni nga bawogganya.
There are times when you are doing spiritual meditation, it's when they put on
Essala ze
megaphones,
basaba nga za kuwaawaala buwaawazi.
and the prayers that they are praying are just free to air.
Okimanyi oyinza okumala omwaka nga tosabangako naye ng'ate bonako osaba.
Do you know you can spend an entire year appearing for prayers, but you've never prayed
Buzaaleeta
actually?
abasajja basatu Yesu bw'ati bw'ayigiriza.
There came 3 men. Jesus taught so.
Omu n'ayimya n'agamba nti nze nkwebaza Katonda.
One of them stood and says, I thank you, Lord.
Siringa Omufalisaayo.
I'm not like that Pharisee,
Siba emirundi esatu buli Sabbiiti.
because I fast 3 times every week.
Mpaayo ekitundu ekyokumi ku byonna bye nfuna.
I offer a tenth of every proceed of mine.
Era siringa ono omuwooza.
So I'm not like that tax collector.
Bwe naye omuwooza n'ayimirira wala.
But then the tax collector stood far
N'ayogera mu mutima gwe
and said in his heart,
nti onsaasire nze alina ebibi.
that have mercy upon me, God, for I am a sinner.
Bwe yaddayo ng'aweereddwa obutuukirivu
It's that tax collector that was counted righteous
okusinga ono omuwooza.
more than the Pharisee.
Awaka mwenna muli balokole.
At home, you are all born again,
Naye gwe osazeewo okusula ng'osaba.
but you're the one who have decided to host an overnight.
Sabira mu mutima gwo.
Pray in your heart.
Togaana banno okwebaka kubanga gw'ogenda kusaba.
Let not your overnight cost others their sleep.
Katonda tawulira kubanga bonoobagaana okwebaka nti kambagaana okwebaka kubanga tebasaba.
The Lord doesn't answer your prayers quicker because you've made others uncomfortable in sleep.
Kitegeerekese.
Is that clear?
Okyapangisa.
You're still a tenant.
Lwaki oggula olutalo ku landlord nga tonnafuna ssente ziyimba?
Why do you wage war against your landlord before you even buy
Be
land?
baleekunga ne bakugoba olina obusobozi obunaagula ennyumba.
What if they evict you in the next 24 hours? Where will you go?
Sooka olindeko oliwogganira mu yiyo.
Hang in there. You will build a prayer room on your mansion and pray.
Kitegedde?
Amen.
Ndowooza kitegedde.
I think that's clear.
Era okitegedde.
That's clear.
Tunaatera okumaliriza.
We are about to close.
Ennyanja emyufu Falaawo yagiraba
Pharaoh saw the Red Sea
ng'akatego Katonda kaateza Abayisirayiri.
as a trap the Lord had entrapped the Israelites in.
Mbwera yatandika okuvvoola n'okusekerera Katonda wa Musa.
So he started to mock the God of Moses.
N'ajerega n'abasajja be nga bw'avuma.
He even mocked his men and laughed.
Mukulembeze wa kika kyo yakulembera abantu.
Which kind of leader leads people
Atamanyi kuba gy'abatwala.
in a direction that is not clear?
Mbwera Abayisirayiri kasita baalaba Falaawo nga bavaako emabega n'amagaali.
And when the Israelites saw Pharaoh and the might of his army coming behind
Ne
them,
bamuddamu ebigambo bye baayogeranga.
they answered the words they were meaning in their hearts now.
Tuleke tuweereze Abamisiri.
Let us go, Moses. Let us go back and serve the Egyptians.
Buli ngeri yonna wajja kubaawo embeera ekunyigiriza.
In every situation, there will come a time of oppression.
Ekyo ky'olowooza mu mutima gwo kijja kuvaayo.
And the oppression will force what's in your heart out of your mouth.
Jja tuuka mu kaseera buli kiri mu mutima gwo kijja kuvaayo.
You'll get to a time and whatever is in your heart comes out of your mouth.
Bazzeemu kye bagambanga Musa nga baga nti Katonda yandabikidde.
They are once again telling Moses what they told him when he told them at start, God
Bwera
appeared to
Katonda
me.
bajjajjaffe yaŋŋambye.
The God of our forefathers told me
Mbu waliwo ensi ennungi gy'agenda obbatwalamu.
that there is a beautiful land that he's taking us to.
Nga ffe twamanyiira.
Because for us, we are used.
Bajjajja baffe baafiira wano, bakitaffe bafiiridde wano.
Our forefathers, our great-grandparents were here in
Ffe
Egypt.
obuddu n'obusibe twabuzaalirwamu tulina kububeeramu.
We have been born in bondage. We have made peace with being slaves.
Ffe tetusobola kwanganga Falaawo okuva mu nsi eno.
How can we fight Pharaoh for our escape out of this Egypt?
Katonda
The Lord
asikiriza Falaawo okuyingira ennyanja.
The Lord is enticing Pharaoh to pursue these people and enter in the Red Sea.
Katonda gwe tugoberera wa maanyi nnyo.
The God we follow is very, very powerful.
Okusinga ebirowoozo byaffe.
Beyond what we think.
Kubanga ekisinga okutumalamu amaanyi nze tayito n'amaanyi n'emmundu n'ebifo n'empuliziganya n'enkolagana abantu ze balina bye batutabaala.
What discourages us most are the connections, are the weapons, are the positions in civil society that our enemies have.
Oli akera ku makya n'akugaa nti oyo omusajja gwe weetaddeko emmundu zonna eziri mu Uganda zize.
Your mates will tell you that that man you're fighting against has the store of all the guns in this country.
Mu mutima gwo n'ogaa nti nkimanyi emmundu zonna zize.
And then in your heart you will say, I know all the guns sleep in his house.
Naye ate Katonda alina emmundu ezitamanyi emmundu z'oyo.
But the Lord has guns that are beyond all those quack ones.
Era omutima gwo n'ogaa nti gwagolokeddeko tamumanyi.
In your heart, people will even tell you the one you're waging war against you don't know.
Kuba ne mukyala wa Hamani yagamba omwami we.
Because even Hannah,
Timpozi gwogenda okuwanika ggwanga ly'eggwanga ki?
even the wife of Haman told Haman that the one you're hanging on the gallows,
Wuliriza
what's
statement
his
ezo zikuwa amaanyi
race?
okukkiriza.
Listen to such statements so that they can build your faith.
Osobole okubaka twakiyise tutya ekizuka
A missile, intercepting missile.
omulabe gyakuweereza
So that you can intercept the missile that the enemy is sending you.
gitracking emanya kuba kire gijjiramu.
Track it and know the coordinates of where it's going to hit.
Kuba ekisooka mu bintu byonna
Because first of all things
omulabe kyagenda okukola
that the enemy will be doing,
ng'amaze okulaba n'okulira obuwanguzi bwe,
after he has heard about your victory,
omutima gwe gujja kuvaayo.
your heart will come out now.
Ajja kubeera ng'aseka akusanyukirako.
He will be like he's celebrating with you.
Bambi twawulidde mbu kazimbye ennyumba.
Then they will say, oh,
Sister,
she built a house.
kusabira.
We've been praying for you, by the way.
Omutima gwe guli muli.
Yet their hearts are just swollen inside there.
Kale kayumba ki ke yazimbye.
Imagine the house that she built.
Abantu bazimba mayumba ng'agenda azimba akayumba.
People build houses, you build a
Tayogera
store.
wano ng'owulira.
They don't say that by their mouth.
Wanakugenda nti sister nkusanyukiddeko nnyo.
Here they tell you, sister, I'm happy about your mansion.
Nkusanyukiddeko nnyo.
I'm very happy about that mansion you built.
Katonda abeera mu ggulu n'aseka.
The Lord sits up in heaven and laughs.
Emitima gy'abantu gijjudde effutwa.
Because our hearts are filled with envy and jealousy.
Obujja.
Jealousy.
Obutaagaliza.
Envy.
Okujereegereza.
Mockery. You say,
Kakazi kinno kayawasizza kakazi muki kako.
The woman that he has got married to, it's not your wife.
Kakwatirako.
Why are you concerned?
Ye kayagala.
It's the one he wants.
Oba kawanvu kayagala si kako.
Whether she's tall, that's his taste.
Oba keeru kayagala si kako.
Whether she's transparent, that's his taste.
Ndowooza muliro interpreter bwendi mu notes ze. Kyonga tekivuunudde.
We are in the same spirit.
Oba kalina embaliga kayagala.
Whether she doesn't walk according to what you think people should walk like, that's his taste.
Because when
the Lord is doing a miracle inside church, he tells Moses that what I'm going to do, people will speak in their hearts. That, come on, really? What kind of testimony? Is it worth saying? No, come on. You look at people who you thought were really civilized, and then you see someone that is almost a nobody. Now, if you meet us, that were trained in the arid deserts. We were trained in the arid desert, Sinai,
Tokoa,
Zin. What's the other wilderness? Magve. Those are arid deserts. They're not semi, they're real arid. They are venomous scorpions. People there are hungry and thirsty. It's as hot as a kiln. Going through it and making it out of it. You pass all those tests and come out. Yet you remain professing that the Lord is Lord. If you start mocking people like us, we just keep marching forward. Nothing can make us retreat. We started a church and people thought it was an adjournal joint. When we started building here, people were saying that the base is a swamp. How can they raise a building? They are waiting for a sponsor. Watch them, people said. When the Lord said that let's rise and build, he knew what I would respond. That yes, Lord, your servants are ready to do. As I step down, I want to speak to your heart. The Lord won't wait for you to come to pray. But before you come to pray, what did your heart say? Blessed be the Lord. Now we've seen that hearts of men. Job 5:12 is one that most of these born agains know. Job 5:12 says, though I fancy more 5:9, my wife fancies Job 5:9 more than 12. Who was saying these words? Job's friend, Eliphaz, Job's friend.
omutemazi Eliphaz
Eliphaz,
mbu
Job's
yagamba
friend.
bw'ati.
This is what he was counseling Job in.
Kantandikire ku lwokutaano.
Let me start from 5.
Njagala okulekera Katonda ensonga yange.
I want to leave my case to the Lord.
Akola ebikulu ebitanyonyezeka.
He that does wonders and great things unsearchable,
N'ebyekitalo ebitalabika.
marvelous things uncountable.
Atonnyesa enkuba ku nsi.
He gives rain on the earth.
Kangende ku lw'ekkumi lwe njagala olw'obudde.
Let me go to 12. It's the gist.
Luga nti atta enkwe z'abagerengetanyi.
He frustrates the devices of the crafty,
Emikono gyabwe ne gitayinza kutuukiza ekibatandisa.
so their hands cannot carry out their plans.
Atta enkwe z'abagerengetanyi.
He frustrates the devices of the crafty.
Enkwe z'abagerengetanyi zitandikira ludda wa?
When do the plots of these crafty people start?
Mitima.
In their hearts.
Ensi tegenda kusanyuka ng'otumbidde.
The world will not be happy at your
Ekyo
progress.
kisuubire.
Expect that.
Kisuubire. Obujulizi bw'ogenda okuwa tebugenda kusanyusa abantu bonna. Kisuubire.
Know this, that not everyone will be happy when you testify.
Kisuubire. Kisuubire.
Expect that. Expect
Omukisa
this.
gw'osaba Katonda akuwe gujja kukuleetera abalabe. Kisuubire.
The blessing that God is giving you will attract enemies. Expect that.
Gujja kumaliriza nga kugamba nti oli malaaya.
In the end of the day, they will say you are a harlot.
Weetunda y'ensonga lwaki waguza emmotoka eyo.
You're selling your body. That's why you bought that house, that
Kubanga
car.
ensi bwekutunira ekulaba nti olina busobozi bugula mmotoka.
Because to them, they can't comprehend you buying a car.
Ensi bwetunerowooza mbu tugenda mu nnyanja tujja ssente.
They look at us and they think we get money from the lake.
Kubanga batunoonya mba biliyoniya mu nsi nga tetuliimu.
They look at for you in the Forbes Billionaires magazine, you're not there.
Batutunuulira bizinesi zaffe zizitowa nga tetuliimu.
They look at our business worth and we are not anywhere.
Bamaliza baga nti abo bali abisiyaga.
And in conclusion, they say they are homosexual.
Mwe bajja ssente zaabwe.
The homosexuals fund them.
Ekyo kisuubire.
Expect such.
Bw'oba otya ebigambo sigalayo ku levo eyo gye bali.
If you're afraid of words, stick to that level and make peace with
Kubanga
them.
ensi ekwagala ku levo yeekusalirawo ekyokukola.
The world is happy when they are dictating your progress.
Yeekusalirawo ekyokulya.
When it decides your diet.
Yeekusalirawo ki ky'onooyambala.
When it decides your dress code.
Yeekusalirawo saluuni ki mw'ogenda.
When it decides your hairdressing parlor.
Ne bw'oba okyama mu birawo by'emmere baga togendeyo genda wano ewa Subiru.
Even if you're going to fast food restaurants, they say don't go there, go this way.
Kubanga bakimanyi nti obusobozi we buli.
Because they know that's what you can afford.
Ensi eyagala okulaba nga muli ku levo y'emu.
The world is happy when you're at the same level with
Na kino
them.
kiwulire.
Listen to this as well.
Ensi teyagala kulaba nga omuntu amusinga.
The world hates to see someone better than it is.
Kabi kyaka kiriko omuntu okusinga.
Where do you find a problem when someone is better than you?
Kabi kyaka kuliko omuntu okutumbira okusinga.
Where do you find a problem when I rise higher than you are?
Kabi kyaka kirimu omuntu okuba n'essente okusinga
Where do you
z'olina.
find a problem if I'm more financially blessed than you are?
Tewali kabi.
There is no problem with that.
Katonda waffe mmalirizo.
Our God, as I conclude,
Akola ebitanyonyezeka n'ebyekitalo.
He does unsearchable and marvelous things.
Yobu 9:5 egamba.
Job 9:5 says
Akyusa ensozi.
that He overturns mountains,
Ne zitamanya ngeri gy'azikyusaamu.
and they do not notice how He overturns them
Bw'azivuunika mu busungu bwe.
when He overturns them in His wrath.
Essaawa yonna ekintu ekinene kikubaako.
Anytime from now, something big is about to pop.
Essaawa yonna amagenda go gakyuka.
Anytime from now, your destiny is changing.
Obuzibu weeralika n'oga nti ayi Mukama
Your problem is you worry and say, but God,
kirisoboka ne
will
kibaawo.
this be possible?
Nyimira wano ng'omubaka wa Katonda okuga nti kisoboka.
I stand here as a servant of the Lord to speak to you. It is possible.
Yobu 3:12 egamba.
Job 36:12 says,
Tajja maaso go ku batuukirivu.
He takes His eyes off not the righteous,
Naye awali entebe z'abakabaka gy'abateeka.
but where the king's thrones are is where He places them.
Ne bagulumizibwa.
There they are exalted.
Mukama yeebazibwe.
Blessed be the Lord.
Tuddemu amaanyi abanunule.
Take heart, redeemed.
Tuddemu amaanyi abanunule.
Be strong, redeemed.
Entalo ze tulaba tezitandikira bweru.
The battles we see outwards don't start on the outward.
entalo esinga okuba enzibu zitandikira mu mutima.
The toughest battles start in the heart.
N'abalabe batuteesezza okutukola obi mitima gyabwe.
And the stage one of the enemy's plan is the heart.
Naye tugenda nti Katonda anaabalumbira mu stage eyo.
But we said the Lord will attack them early at that stage.
Tulabye ensi ey'omubiri n'ensi ey'omwoyo.
We've seen the physical and the spiritual realm.
Nti ebigambo biri mu nsi ya mubiri.
That words spoken are in the physical realm.
Ebirowoozo biri mu nsi ya mwoyo.
But unspoken thoughts are in the spiritual realm.
Obuwanguzi bwonna busookera eyo mu nsi ey'omwoyo.
Victory starts in the spiritual realm.
Lwaki? Kubanga teri kyabaawo okutuusa nga kimaze okuba mu nsi ey'omwoyo.
Why? Nothing exists on earth before it existed in the spiritual realm.
Katonda talinda biki boogera.
The Lord doesn't wait for what people have spoken.
Naye Katonda alinda biki omutima gwe kye beeyogera.
But he waits for what your heart speaks.
Abantu bawuliriza ebigambo.
People can listen to your words.
Katonda awuliriza omutima.
But the Lord looks at the intents of your heart.
Bamalayika barespondinga ku Saala.
Angels respond to that prayer.
Katonda asikaninga omutima kye gwogera.
After God had scanned what your heart says.
Eggulu,
the heavens,
teriwuliriza bigambo ki byeyogera.
Do not listen to what your mouth is speaking.
Naye omutima gwo gwogera ki?
But what your heart is speaking.
Nga tonnayogera.
Before you speak,
Katonda aba yamaze dda okuregisteringa.
the Lord has already registered
Mu kooti ze mu mpya ze ez'omuggulu, sorry.
in the books of his courts in heaven.
Katonda buli kirowoozo kyonna
Every thought
akimanyi.
the Lord knows.
Amanyi ofumitiriza kw'omutima
He knows the meditation of the heart.
n'ebirowoozo by'omutima.
He knows the thoughts of the mind.
Dawudi kyava yasaba n'agamba,
No wonder David prayed and
ebigambo
said
by'omu kamwa kange
that the words of my mouth
n'okufumitiza kw'omutima
and the
kwange
meditation of my heart,
bisiimibwe gy'oli,
may they be pleasant before you, Lord.
ayi Katonda.
O Lord.
Maliriza
I conclude
nga nkola samala eno.
by summarizing.
Falaawo
Pharaoh
alyogera mu mutima gwe
will say in his heart
nti eddungu
that the wilderness
libazingiza.
has bewildered them,
Nange ndyefunira ekitiibwa ku Falaawo
and I will get myself honor over Pharaoh
ne ku magaali ge,
and over his chariots,
ne bonna balimanya ku olwo
and all the Egyptians shall know from that day
ti nze.
that I am the Lord.
Omutima gwo ddayo ofupulule buli kirowoozo kyonna ekikulimu eky'okubuusabuusa.
Now go out and pour out every thought of doubt in your heart.
Teekamu ebirowoozo by'okukkiriza okunene.
Replace those thoughts with thoughts of dynamic faith.
Nga tonnaba kwatula oba okuddamu ekintu kyonna.
Before you confess or say anything with your mouth,
Kwata ekigambo kyonna ekiri munda mu mutima gwo.
look through all the words that are in your heart.
Kikwate,
Hold them
okiyatule,
and confess them.
kisindike eri obwenkola.
Send it out to the atmosphere.
Nga tonnalowooza bwe tolina ssente.
Before you think about how you are broke,
Nga tolowooza ngeri gy'ogenda kuddayo.
before you think about what you will even respond.
Kati enkuba etonnye.
You see, now it's raining.
Waliwo eyeeraliikiridde dda.
Someone is already worried.
Omuntu agenda kutambula atya ng'addayo.
How will I travel back home?
Omuntu alabye.
Woe unto me.
Olabye eggulu bwe limaze okulowooza nti olabye.
Now, you see, the heaven already knows. You've declared yourself
Mu kyo kyogga nti bino bye biro ebisinga obulungi.
bad omened. Instead of declaring that these are the best seasons,
Mukama nkwebaza kubanga
God, I bless you because
ndi mbiro enkuba letegenda kuba kizibu kyange.
I'm in seasons when the rain will never be a problem to me.
Abantu nga beggamye,
When people are taking shelter,
nze nga nsigala nga ntambula.
I'll still be driving.
Owulira ebirowoozo ebiri mu mutima gwo.
Now, if you had such thoughts in your heart,
Katonda kyavaga nti n'ebirowoozo ebirungi gye muli.
that is why the Lord says that I have good plans for you.
Ensi ekulaba kubanga etunula kungulu.
The world will summarize you by looking at you.
Ensi ewulira by'oyogera.
It will listen to what you speak.
Ne bakuyita akakazi,
And then they will call you a woman and a half.
ne bakuyita akasajja,
They will call you half a man.
ne bakujereegereza,
They will mock you.
kantumuukyako.
What kind of somebody is
Naye nga
that?
beerabidde bwe wali ojja ku nsi tewajja na kintu.
But they forget you came having nothing on earth.
Naye kye wajja nakyo,
And what you came with
amagenda go gaali mawandiike.
was that your destiny had already been pre-written.
Kino ekyanikibwa kyensembyayo kinzijidde.
This scripture has come to me. Allow me say it last.
Kiri mu Zabbuli 139.
It is in Psalms 139.
Zabbuli eyo mpanvu eyogera ku bitabo by'amagenda.
Psalms 139 talks about books of the destinies.
buli muntu byajja nayo ku nsi.
that everyone came with on earth.
139. ensi esalaasala ebigambo.
The world can assess and speak.
ensi tojja gisobola.
Let them be. You won't manage them.
Mukyala wange musuubuzi
My wife is a business mogul,
era ebiseera ebimu aba afulumye ng'agenza okusuubula.
and sometimes she's on business trips.
Namukolerayo ekyamagero ne mugulira ekirabo.
I one time did a miracle for her, which was a gift. That I
Yali
bought.
surprise kuba ayagala nnyo surprise.
It was a surprise. She loves surprises.
Kyali kyamaanyi.
It was a gift.
Kaakati
Now,
oli omu bwe yawulira
someone heard about it,
aga
and they said, "Come
kati oli yali amuwa
on."
obujulizi Mukama nga amuwa obujulizi omusumba omwawa omusumba oli akoledde mukyala we kino.
Okay. Someone was testifying that a certain pastor had done this for their
Naye
wife,
engeri gye batambulatambula eyo gye bajje yamuwadde.
and then someone was saying, that can't be a surprise. It's because they are always traveling.
Kati bwe yakomawo
Now, when she
naye
returned,
mpulidde bubi nnyo gwe ntiyandiŋambye bw'atyo.
she said, I feel so bad. My friend shouldn't have said that about what you gave me.
Nemugamba ekikuulizo obubi kiki.
Then I asked her, why are you feeling bad?
Tomanyi nti ensi erina enswalwa.
Don't you know that the world feels jealous?
Nemugamba omusajja oyo mulaba.
You see that man?
Okuggyako Gomesi gye baasonda nga basonda agenda yanjula mukyala ate nga ne sente zaali zize.
Besides the Gomasi, that was through a fundraising event.
Mukyala we tamugulira nga yewadde akantu.
He has never bought the wife anything.
Kakati era ekyo abadde alina okukyogera.
Now, no wonder he had to say that about my surprise to you.
Okimanyi waliwo babbulaaza.
Do you know they are brothers?
Okuva lwe baakola bajeti nga omanyi bajeti ezo tuziyitamu nga tuzisonda.
Since they drafted the budget, you know, you're
Obadde
always
olowooza nti
looking
omwami
through.
yakugulira Gomesi eyo.
You think your husband brought that Gomasi for you?
Zaali mu meeting, sente zaali za meeting.
No, the Gomasi was in the meeting. We saw even the material before.
Banna nze mu nsi muno waliwo abasajja be neewuunya.
There are men I'm amazed about in this life.
Bagume okusinga emivule.
They are stronger than Kedas.
Bagume okusinga emivule.
They are firm, more firm than Kedas.
Era olusinyala neesaba ne nga Mukama bansabye nnyo.
At times I pray and tell the Lord, have I prayed
Mukama abaana
promise?
bange Katonda abayambe ba daughters.
May the Lord help my daughters.
Abasajja module balimu basanga.
Men of that kind, far away from our daughters.
Balimu basanga.
May they not meet them even.
Omugale oyo totawaana naye. Eyo nswalo.
People just feel jealous about other
Kuba
people's
okuva lwe
achievements.
bamusondera Gomesi emyaka 2 oba 21 simanyi.
Because ever since they had a fundraising drive for her Gomasi,
Ekyo kiri nnomo. Ate ne mugandi nja kukolayo ekisinga ku ekyo.
I told my wife,
ayabika omutima.
I will do something bigger than that so that the heart will pop out of the chest.
Ayabika omutima.
So that the heart will pop out of the chest.
Saagala muntu antanula.
I don't want someone that scratches me, provokes me.
Nze bw'ontanula
When you provoke me,
ng'onsanze ndidde Rolex 3.
you find my
Nogamba
stomach on 3
sente
Rolexes.
zaffe zeoliko
You tell pastor that you're eating our
oba
money.
ontanudde.
Then
Nja kulinda
scratch
lw'onoosiiba ndeete enkoko eyeekyusa bw'eti.
I will wait for when you're fasting and I will bring a hen that is in gymnastics.
Ngikulire mu maaso.
And I will eat it before you.
Ate nkulinda lw'onoosiibulukuka.
And I will wait when you're breaking your fast.
Mpita abantu bange bonna beetooloole.
I will invite all my eatmates to surround you.
Kube essimu ku Javas.
You'll find us at Java's.
Sigenda nagenda lwaki ngenda.
I won't
Kuba
even go
ntojja
there.
kugenda. Order
I just order online.
bizze paaka ziri 3
3 packs have come,
era z'abantu 3.
and they are for 3 people, obviously.
Tuzikulire mu maaso ng'owulira.
We shall eat and use the serviettes before you.
Saagala kuntanula
I hate it when you scratch my back.
ate saagala kuntankuula.
Don't scratch my back.
Olidde bw'oba oddamu abakutankuula.
Now I'm giving you a rehearsal for how you should answer those.
Bw'oba okyusiza
provoke
engatto
you.
zo zizo.
If you change your shoe, it's your shoe.
Oteyagalirako buli kiseera oteyagalirako buli kiseera okyusa engatto oteyagalirako.
You're always swagging
Saagala
around.
kuntankuula.
Please don't don't distort my peace.
kuba nyinza okusaba services
Because I can pray 3 services
ate nga buli service n'engatto yaako
with different shoes,
n'ekiteeteeyi kyako
with a different dress in 3
n'omusono
services.
gw'enviiri gwako.
3 services with different hairstyles.
Olwaki ensi etutanula?
Why does the world distort our peace?
Lwaki ensi etutanula?
I wonder why.
Si busungu.
Don't you think I'm angry now?
Saagala nsi kutanula kuntankuula.
I hate it when the world distorts my peace.
Saagala nsi kuntankuula.
I don't want the world to distort my peace.
Ekimalamu abantu amagenda gaabwe kyekyo.
That is why people have lost their destinies.
Lwaki tokyayambala bulungi mu nnyumba ya Mukama?
Why aren't you dressing
Nze
smartly
musumba
in the
nava ku
house of the
bantu,
Lord?
nze nava ku bantu kubanga baŋŋamba mbu simanyi bwe nnyambala obulungi, mbu neewaka neekola ki.
Pastor, I've given up on people when I dress well, they say I'm swagging, bragging. Okay? Okay?
Oyo omwana omulenzi tomutankuula.
Do not distort that son.
N'omwana omuwala tomukola ki?
Neither should you, that daughter that dresses smartly.
Tomutambaala.
Go slow.
Kuba Katonda ayinza okuyintayisinga mpola.
Because the Lord can entice you little by little.
N'akukuumira mu kkubo ly'otolowooza mbu ojja kuliyitamu.
And then he takes you to a road that you don't think you would desire.
N'agenda kufuganyirizaawo.
And then you are consumed from there.
Mbu ensi n'eryoka emanya
And the world will know
mbu ye Mukama.
from your problems that the Lord is
Enkya.
tomorrow.
Enkya.
Tomorrow,
Tugenda kusaba.
we are going to pray.
N'essala gye tugenda okusaba
And the prayer we are going to pray
yeeno mu maaso.
is this one.
Katonda ng'amaze okusobozesa Abayisirayiri
After the Lord had made the Israelites cross over,
obukakanyavu bw'emitima gyabwe n'obutakkiriza ne bubalumba.
their stiff-neckedness and doubt came back.
Era ne boogera bubi.
They spoke negatively again.
Bwera eddungu
And the wilderness
ne libazingiza nga Falaawo bwe yayogera.
bewildered them according to what Pharaoh had thought before they crossed over.
Olugendo lwali lwa nnaku 40.
That journey was one worth just 40 days.
Mukyala Nabangi baatwala emyaka emeka?
Mrs. Nabanji, how long did the Israelites take in the wilderness before
Kikumbuuza
entering
kuba
the
oli
promised land?
musomesa.
I've asked you because you're a teacher.
Pozi gosomesa science kale kankireke.
A teacher of
Ani omulala?
science, let me
Ani
pardon
asomesa
you.
art subjects?
Who is a teacher of divinity, CRE,
Kyatwala emyaka emeka?
or African history? How many years did it take the Israelites?
Waliwo agaye nti 9.
Someone has said a decade.
Mama Pole
Mama Polly,
kyatwala emyaka emeka?
40, she said.
Ana. Okiraba?
You see,
Ekigambo Falaawo kye yayogera.
the word that Pharaoh said,
Katonda amaze obbawa paasi.
now the Lord has given them a pass.
Batuuse mu nsi.
And now they are in the land.
Abakanani babalemye okuwangula.
They have failed to dominate the Canaanites,
N'Abakiivi n'Abayebusi n'Abakani.
the Hivites, the Jebusites, the Hittites.
Ne kibatwalira emyaka emirala.
It took them other 40 years.
Omanyi kye baakola?
Do you know what they did?
Baatandika okwetoloola obwetoloozi.
They started rotating around the same place.
Era omulembe gwonna
Now that entire generation
ne gufiira mu ddungu
died in the wilderness,
nga Falaawo bwe yayogera.
just like Pharaoh had said.
Enkya essaala y'enkya si ze essaala z'obadde olowooza.
Tomorrow's prayer is not like you have been thought.
Kwe kumenya ekikoligo ky'eddungu,
It's not like you've been thinking it will be. Breaking the yoke of the wilderness,
kwe kusomoka n'okumenya ekikoligo ky'eddungu.
crossing over and breaking the yoke of the wilderness.
Abali mu mawanga n'abali mu nsi
If you're watching and you're in the diaspora,
bangi bemmanyi
many I know about.
nga ziwankaaki z'amawanga ago ziremye
The
okubaggulira.
gates of those countries where you are still locked.
Muli mu nsi omuli emikisa gyonna,
You're in countries that are called land of opportunities,
naye ng'omukisa ogunoonya togulaba.
but you're looking for opportunities and they're nowhere.
Eddungu nga lyabazingisa
The wilderness has besieged you.
kiggwa leero.
It's ending today.
enkya
Tomorrow,
olute
upon this altar,
tugenda kumenya ekikoligo ky'eddungu
we are breaking the yoke of the wilderness
era tumenye ekivume eky'emisiri.
and the reproach of Egypt.
Katonda agamba Yoswa,
The Lord told Joshua,
gamba Abayisirayiri
tell the Israelites,
bw'omaze obbakomola
after you've circumcised
batuuse
them
Girigaali
and they're in Gilgal,
ti njiringisiza ekivume ky'emisiri
that
ekibajja.
I have rolled away the reproach of Egypt.
Ebintu bibiri ebigenda okukolebwa:
Two things are going to be done:
kumenya ekikoligo eky'eddungu
breaking the yoke of the wilderness
n'okumenya ekivume ky'emisiri.
and rolling away the reproach of Egypt.
Kunga munno 12:3
Tell a friend to tell a friend and other friends that tomorrow, 6 p.m.
jangu nga weeteeseteese okusaba
East African time, come prepared to pray.
era jangu n'ekiweebwayo kye ky'okukyoto.
Come with your offering upon the altar.
Saavisi ewedde bino birango bya njawulo n'enkuba ekedde.
Service is done. These are special announcements. I trust the showers are down now.
Ewedde
The rain is over.
ennaku z'omwezi nga 21 Desemba,
On the 21st day of December,
wano wagiriwo tugenda kujja mu maaso ga Mukama n'okwebaza.
we are coming before the Lord to give thanks.
Era mukimanyi nti omwaka bwe baguggwako
You all know that as our church,
tujja mu maaso ga Mukama n'essaddaaka zaffe n'okumusinza
at
n'okumwebaza.
the end of the year, we come before the Lord with sacrifices of thanksgiving.
Tandika okuteekateeka omutima gwo
Start-
okusookera ddala.
To prepare your heart first.
Buuza Mukama,
Ask the Lord.
wuliriza Omwoyo Omutukuvu kyagamba emmeeme eyo.
Listen to what the Spirit is telling your heart
Katonda ky'ogenda okumwebaza nakyo.
about what you should give the Lord in thanks.
Osobola okufuna ebbaasa n'ogenda nayo
You can always get an envelope in advance,
n'otandika okuteekamu ekiweebwayo kyo
so you start saving in it what you'll be offering.
ky'otowangayo bukyanga oba mu nsi.
Something you've never offered ever since your lifetime.
Okiwa Katonda olw'ebirungi n'ebyekisa by'atukoledde.
Offering it to Him for His goodness and mercy to us.
Era Katonda omulungi oyo agulumizibwe
And may the good Lord be exalted.
era n'erinnya lye litenderezebwe.
Praise be to His name.
Era bwe tumaliriza tuba ne saavisi emu
After that, the Thanksgiving has one service.
ne tulyoka tufuna ekyokulya nga tuliira wamu.
And then we have a buffet together.
Era ku mulundi guno
This time,
Mukama ayongedde otukola obulungi bungi.
the Lord has been immensely good to us.
Ebyokulya n'ebyokunywa abatukuvu
Foods and drinks.
Katonda ayongedde okubiriza emitima gyabwe
The
okuwaayo.
Lord has encouraged saints to cover them.
Tukolera wamu era obuwanguzi bwaffe bubadde ebbanga lyonna.
We've worked as a team and a family. That's where our victory has been.
Kati bwe tumaliriza
After that,
eweero ekyaliyo enkuba tukole tutya? Tufuneyo eddakiika 10 kuba twandibadde tubeera wabweru.
because we could hold the meeting out,
Enkuba ekyaliyo naye bwe tunaamala ejja kuwedde.
but there are still showers out there.
Kale
So we
kampise
can do it here.
kati tukole obulundi gumu.
Let us do it at once.
Oluvannyuma nsabire ebiweebwayo. Tusooke kusabira biweebwayo. Kale tusooke tusabire ebiweebwayo.
Let us first pray for our offertory.
Pastor Charles,
Pastor Charles,
otu